This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been published in the borough's official newspapers and posted in the municipal building and on the borough's website. As permitted by the Open Public Meetings Act, this meeting is being held in person and broadcast online via Zoom video meetings. The option to attend via Zoom is a courtesy. If Zoom becomes unavailable and cannot be fixed, council meeting will continue in person only. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you are appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mary.
Councilmember Monatakis. Councilmember Facey Blackwood. Here. Councilmember Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janome.
Here.
Councilmember Euro.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
And Mayor Portman.
Here. Thank you. Before we get started tonight, I just want to take a moment to address yesterday this horrible accident that happened that resulted in the death of a child member of our community. There are really no words. This is a horrible tragedy, a terrible accident, and yeah, where everyone's feeling it. So, if we could just take a moment of silence, that would be great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we have a bunch of proclamations to get through. So here we go. First one is EMS Week proclamation. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating the Emergency Medical Service Week. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, along with the governing body, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to the 23rd, 2026, as Emergency Medical Services Week. The 52nd anniversary of EMS Week theme is EMS Week, Improving Outcomes Together. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities in honor of the EMS profession and the essential services it provides. I believe we have a representative here from Hackensack Meridian EMS Operations to accept.
And Mayor, the handheld mic is on the table too, if anybody wanted to say anything.
My name is Mark Bober. I'm the Vice President of EMS and Mobile Health, and on behalf of Hackensack Meridian Health, we just want to say thank you for this acknowledgement for EMS Week. We're very proud of the role that all of you allow us to play as partners in your community, and we're grateful for this recognition this EMS Week and every year. Thank you very much for the role you allow us to play in helping to save your community and keep everybody safe. Thank you.
Three, two, one.
What's the word, Mayor? Chins up, big teeth. Aye, yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, a proclamation for Building Safety Month, May 2026, Built to Last. Whereas our homes, workplaces, schools, and public buildings are essential to the safety, health, and well-being of the residents of the Borough of Red Bank. And whereas the observance of Building Safety Month each May raises awareness about the critical role of safe construction, code enforcement, and resilient design in protecting our community. And whereas the 2026 theme, Built to Last, emphasizes the importance of constructing and maintaining buildings that are safe, sustainable, resilient to natural hazards, and accessible to all individuals. And whereas building safety is a shared responsibility among homeowners, builders, design professionals, code officials, and local leaders, all of whom play a vital role in ensuring that structures meet modern safety standards. And whereas the adoption and enforcement of up-to-date building codes, along with disaster-resilient construction practices and accessible design, help safeguard lives, protect property, and support the long-term vitality of our community. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank recognizes the dedicated efforts of our construction code officials, inspectors, engineers, architects, and all professionals who work diligently to ensure that buildings in our community are constructed and maintained to the highest standards. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Red Bank do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Building Safety Month in the Borough of Red Bank, and encourage all residents to learn about and support building safety practices that create stronger, safer, and more resilient communities. And be it further proclaimed that all residents are encouraged to recognize the importance of building safety and to participate in activities that promote awareness of safe, resilient, and accessible construction practices that are truly built to last. I think we have our construction official, Tony, here to accept. There he is.
Tony. Right here, Tony. Good, thank you.
Just real quick, I don't think I need to, I'll people up too. Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to see it. I want to hear it, Steve.
I'm gonna yield most of my time to Tom. for that. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and members of the council, thank you very much. Jim, thank you very much for acknowledging it. The only thing that I have to say, and I've said this numerous times, you know, you go past our counterparts in the fire department, and it says out there usually thank a fireman or a firefighter that the fire is out. You know, one of our mottos is thank an inspector for the fire never started. So once again, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. We were all watching it. There, it was good. All right, we have a few more of these. Next up, it's National Police Week, May 11th to the 16th. To recognize National Police Week 2026 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Red Bank Police Department. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, more than 24,500 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty, including one member, James Walsh, of the Red Bank Police Department. And whereas the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., and whereas 363 new names of fallen heroes are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 109 officers killed in 2025 and 254 officers killed in previous years. And whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's 38th Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13th, 2026. And whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of National Police Week, which will be observed this year, May 11th to the 16th. And whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Now, therefore, I, Mayor William Portman, on behalf of the council and community, do hereby proclaim May 15th, 2026 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and May 11th to the 16th, 2026 as National Police Week, and call upon all citizens to remember the peace officers that have given their last full measure of devotion in the line of duty and direct that the flag be flown at half-staff on Peace Officers Memorial Day. Chief, you want to come grab this?
Thank you. This is a great recognition. I just want to thank the mayor and council for Manager Gant for your support. Recognitions like this are important to the men and women in the police department currently working. For those that it's a great recognition for the officers that have passed away over the years. I personally have never made it down to the memorial, but I would like to do so. We also have an officer, Luke Cahill, that's participating in the ride down to the monument this week. I forget exactly how many miles they bike, but it's pretty significant. So I don't even know if I could do that anymore. But I just want to say thank you so much for your support and for the community support. Thank you.
Thank you. We are halfway through our proclamations. Next up is National Public Works Week, May 17th to the 23rd, 2026. Rooted in service, powered by community. Whereas public works services are an essential part of everyday life in the borough of Red Bank, supporting the health, safety, and well-being of our residents and businesses. And whereas National Public Works Week is observed annually to recognize the vital contributions of public works professionals and the importance of maintaining and improving community infrastructure. And whereas in 2026, National Public Works Week is officially recognized from May 17th through May 23rd in many municipalities, with some communities observing slight variations in dates, and the national theme, Rooted in Service, Powered by Community, highlights the dedication of public works professionals and their lasting impact on daily life. And whereas public works encompasses the planning, construction, management, and maintenance of critical infrastructure, including roads, bridges, sanitation systems, stormwater management, public buildings, parks, and recreational facilities, all of which are essential to a safe and thriving community. And whereas the men and women of the Borough of Red Bank Department of Public Works work tirelessly, often behind the scenes and in all weather conditions, to ensure that essential services are delivered efficiently and effectively. And whereas National Public Works Week serves to raise public awareness of the importance of these services and the role they play in ensuring a high quality of life, economic vitality, and environmental sustainability. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Red Bank do hereby recognize May 17th through 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week in the Borough of Red Bank, and commend the dedicated public works professionals whose commitment keeps our community strong and resilient. Be it further proclaimed that all residents are encouraged to acknowledge and appreciate the contributions of public works employees and to gain a greater understanding of the essential services they provide that are truly rooted in service, powered by community. And what do we have here? Oh, Terrence is here, right? Our director of our DPU.
Mayor and Council, Borough Manager Gann. This is an honor, and every year I always take great pride in accepting this award. Public Works is special to me. I grew up in this town, and I constantly will always remind every staff member that we have that I appreciate the work that they do, because what we do matters. And in this honor, it says rooted in service, because that's what we do. And we take great pride in what we do. We're not perfect, things don't always go well, but we always strive each and every day and each and every year as our team grows to give back to the community and do what's right for the community. And we really do appreciate this award. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
All right, next up, we have Older Americans Month, Champion Your Health. Whereas the Borough of Red Bank is proud to recognize May 2026 as Older Americans Month, a time to honor the contributions, experience, and resilience of older adults in our community and throughout the nation. And whereas Older Americans Month was established in 1963 by President John F. Kennedy as Senior Citizens Month and has since evolved to reflect the growing population of older adults and their vital roles in families, workplaces, and civic life. And whereas this observance is led by the Administration for Community Living, which provides resources and support to help to promote the health, independence, and well-being of older Americans. And whereas the 2026 theme, Champion Your Health, emphasizes prevention, wellness, and active engagement in personal health, encouraging older adults to take an active role in managing their health, access preventative care and screenings, make informed lifestyle decisions, and participate in programs that enhance quality of life. And whereas this theme highlights evidence-based approaches to maintaining physical, mental, and social well-being while promoting independence and long-term health through community partnerships and support for caregivers. And whereas federal initiatives such as Medicare and Medicaid, the Older Americans Act, Social Security, the Americans with Disabilities Act, and the Elder Justice Act reflect our nation's ongoing commitment to improving the health, safety, and economic security of older adults. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank encourages residents, organizations, and community partners to celebrate Older Americans Month by promoting wellness programs, supporting senior services, fostering intergenerational connections, and recognizing the invaluable contributions of older adults. And whereas this month serves as an opportunity to raise awareness of aging issues, combat stereotypes, and build a more inclusive and supportive community for residents of all ages. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Red Bank do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Older Americans Month in the Borough of Red Bank, and urge all residents to recognize and celebrate the important role older adults play in strengthening our community. Be it further proclaimed that May 2026 serves as a time to honor older adults, encourage healthy lifestyles, and recognize the ongoing contributions to society. And by championing health and wellness, we can empower older adults to lead active, independent, and fulfilling lives. And we have Ms. Jackie Reynolds and Ms. Jamaica Murray from the Red Bank Senior Center.
Oh, okay. See, four of us up here. I just want to thank Mayor and Council for doing this once again for us this year. It is very important for me, Jamaica, and the rest of the senior center staff to let everybody know that we feel the seniors are the most important people in our community. That's where we started. That's where we get our education from. We learn everything from them. So we celebrate them, not just this month, because we celebrate them throughout the year. So I just wish that if you know somebody that is home, a senior, and needs some help, to please give us a call. You can do that for them. If they want to come out and hang with us, Perfect. Also, please, please, if they don't want to come see us, just visit them sometimes and kind of get them to come and see us. All right? Thank you.
Mayor, I just want to say real quick, one thing special about the senior center and the work of their team and led by Adriana is the fact that this year they received a $250,000 pilot grant to fund some of their programs and help out with some new things at the senior center. So I think this is the first time the Red Bank Senior Center and Senior Services has received that. And I think it's really attributed to the great work that they do every day.
And thank you. Thank you for all the programs. My husband and I come to painting. Tonight we had yoga, chair yoga tonight. There's so many great activities. So I encourage people to look at their schedule. They have a lot of great things going on. Thanks for everything.
Okay, finally, we are recognizing brain tumor awareness. Whereas brain tumors impact thousands of individuals and families each year, affecting people of all ages, backgrounds, and walks of life. And whereas brain tumors can present significant physical, emotional, and financial challenges for patients, caregivers, and loved ones while inspiring extraordinary strength, resilience, and hope. And whereas increasing public awareness and understanding of brain tumors is essential to improving early detection, supporting research efforts, advancing treatment options, and encouraging compassion for those affected. And whereas the Borough of Red Bank recognizes the importance of supporting individuals and families impacted by brain tumors and acknowledges the dedication of healthcare professionals, researchers, caregivers, advocates, and community organizations working to improve the lives of those affected. And whereas residents are encouraged to help raise awareness by sharing personal experiences and stories, participating in community walks and fundraising events, supporting advocacy and research organizations, educating others about the signs and symptoms of brain tumors, and showing compassion and support for those facing this diagnosis. And whereas through education, advocacy, research, and community support, we can bring greater awareness to brain tumors and foster hope for improved treatments and one day a cure. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Red Bank do hereby recognize brain tumor awareness and encourage all residents to support efforts that promote awareness, education, advocacy, research, and compassion for individuals and families affected by brain tumors. And we have Nurse Beth Goff here.
Hi. So Beth is a friend of mine. We've taught nursing together at Monmouth University for many years. I've known Beth a long, long time. Her courage has been remarkable. She was diagnosed last fall, and she has this team called Team Bowie, named after her dog. We all walked in Asbury on Sunday for Saturday for brain cancer tumor awareness. Her team made the most money for research, and she's been such a warrior. So I'm very proud of her and all the work she's done, and her family's been great. So thanks for everything. She made over $30,000 for research.
Beth, thank you for being here too. I have an inkling of what you're going through. I lost my mother over 30 years ago to brain cancer, so fight that good fight. Okay, next up, we have the River Center here. They're gonna give us a presentation on their 2026 budget. Yeah, you can sit, you can use the hardwired mic.
Good evening, council, mayor, deputy mayor, and administration.
Right into the mic.
I think that's a first.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Pursuant to the New Jersey law governing special improvement municipalities are required to approve the portion of the annual budget funded through assessment on commercial properties within the district. In accordance with those requirements, the proposed 2026 budget for Red Bank River Center was reviewed in collaboration with the River Center Finance Committee and formally approved by the River Center Board of Directors. The proposed 2026 assessment budget remains flat at $579,970, reflecting no increases to the assessments to commercial property owners for another consecutive year. This continued stability demonstrates River Center's commitment to responsible fiscal management while maintaining meaningful investments in downtown beautification, economic development, marketing, public programming, and business support initiatives. In addition to assessment revenue, River Center will continue leveraging grants, sponsorships, fundraising efforts, and program-generated income to maximize services and programs while remaining fiscally responsible and revenue neutral to taxpayers. As we enter the 2026, River Center reflects proudly on another transformative year for downtown Red Bank. Through collaboration with the borough, local businesses, property owners, sponsors, volunteers, and community partners, Red Bank continues to strengthen its reputation as one of the New Jersey's premier downtown destinations for arts, dining, shopping, culture, and community engagement. Throughout 2025, River Center continued investing in projects designed to improve the visual appeal, walkability, and visitor experience throughout the district. Accomplishes included installation of additional decorative lighting and seasonal enhancements, continued investment in the horticulture and maintenance program, completion of 2 large-scale public murals contributing to Red Bank's growth in the arts identity, one on Kennedy Crossroads and the other on 27 West Street. The Red Bank Airport was that mural. Enhancements to public gathering spaces designed to encourage foot traffic and community interaction. These initiatives not only improved aesthetics, but also supported increased visitation and longer dwell times within the district. River Center's events and programming continue to serve as major economic driver for downtown businesses while strengthening community engagement. Major events included Street Life, Broadwalk programming, Oktoberfest, Witches Night Out, Holiday Harmonies, Holiday Trolley Rides, Red Bank Town Lighting, Small Business Saturday, Red Bank Bucks Giveaway, and the annual Sweet Stroll. We also launched a new pop culture event in 2025, which successfully attracted new audience and expanded downtown engagement opportunities. Collectively, these events drew residents and visitors to Red Bank while generating increased exposure and customer activity for local businesses. Supporting the downtown business community remains a core priority throughout the 2025. We did this through coordinated and promoted more than 30 ribbon cuttings in partnership with the borough and welcomed over 50 new businesses to the downtown, including Brooks Brothers. Expanded business-to-business networking meetings and merchant engagement initiatives, provided enhanced marketing and promotional support to local businesses, assisted with business recruitment efforts, continued collaboration with property owners and entrepreneurs interested in investing in Red Bank. These efforts contribute to continued growth, to business growth, occupancy, and economic activity through the district. River Center's 2026 budget reflects strategic investments intended to strengthen downtown vibrancy, economic development, beautification, sustainability, and cultural engagement. In 2026, River Center will continue expanding its environmental and beautification efforts through installation of a butterfly garden and pollinator-friendly landscaping, additional seasonal plantings, and sustainable horticultural improvements. The budget also includes continued investment in seasonal decor, lighting, and streetscape enhancements, including the restoration of retired holiday decor throughout the district, expanded decorative lighting and streetscape elements, continued maintenance of planters, gardens, patterns, and public spaces. These investments will help reinforce Red Bank's identity as a vibrant year-round destination. River Center will also continue investing in beloved annual traditions while also introducing new free programming during both daytime and evening times designed to attract residents, families, and visitors throughout the year. Expansion of the arts and culture programming with the new Red Bank Arts Festival that will be held on Monmouth Street on June 27th. Additional public performances and community experiences. Enhanced family-friendly and interactive events, continue to support for signature seasonal events, and drive visitation and economic activity. River Center will continue to roll out its Red Bank Your Downtown branding initiative through expanded digital marketing and advertising and public relations. The marketing strategy will focus on promoting Red Bank as a regional destination for dining, shopping, arts, and entertainment, increase regional tourism and visitation, supporting local business through collaborated promotions and campaigns, strengthening the River Center's digital presence and storytelling efforts. It will also prioritize initiatives designed to strengthen Red Bank's identity and attract continued investment through business recruitment and retention efforts, continued support for public art and mural installations, activation of underutilized spaces and storefronts. These initiatives are intended to reinforce Red Bank's reputation as creative, walkable, and economically vibrant downtown. Additionally, the budget supports continued implementation of the Downtown Master Plan, public safety and accessibility improvements, expanded business services and outreach, collaboration with the borough leadership and community stakeholders, inclusive and community engagement and program initiatives. With these priorities guiding our work, Red Bank River Center remains committed to leading the next chapter of downtown Red Bank with transparency, creativity, fiscally responsible, and a strong partnership with the community as we serve. We sincerely thank the mayor, borough council, business community, property owners, residents, sponsors, and volunteers for their continued support and collaboration throughout the year. The proposed 2026 budget reflects a balanced and responsible financial plan that maintains current assessment levels while continuing to invest in the programs that contribute to the liveliness and success of downtown Red Bank. On behalf of the River Center's Board of Directors and Finance Committee, we respectfully request the approval of the 2026 River Center budget by the mayor and borough council so we may continue to advancing our shared vision for a vibrant, welcoming, and economically strong district. We look forward to continuing our partnership with the borough and building upon a momentum of 2025 to ensure another successful year of Red Bank in 2026 and beyond.
Thank you, Maren. Are you okay with hanging out for a few minutes? Because we're about to open the floor for public comment. If anyone has any questions for you, it's,
Sure.
No problem.
all right, great.
Mayor, before you go,
Yeah.
can I ask Maren a quick question?
Sure.
Where will the butterfly garden go?
So I'm working with Alexis, our flower person, to identify where the best sun is. We do have a couple ideas on Broad Street of transitioning an already existing garden to
Okay.
be a butterfly garden. But I can't,
Right.
there's a
okay.
lot of stuff that goes.
Sure. And speaking on behalf of the Environmental Commission, I think they're also very happy to hear that you're looking at pollinator-friendly garden
Mhm.
and hopefully some native species interspersed. I'm looking at a master gardener in training right behind you. So yeah, I'll make that statement. Okay, great. Thank you.
Overall, I'm extremely happy with the budget. I know I've expressed this to the board and to you, Maren. I see that the amount for murals has been cut to $5,000. And, you know, I think we worked really hard to bring that number up. And I think that murals are one of the things that people are appreciating a lot from River Center. So I just wanted to put that out there that, you know, it's now $5,000 in the budget for murals that the board, and that's not you, you're the messenger, but it was wonderful to see 2 murals come out last year. You're not getting 2 murals from $5,000, so
I'm continuing to look for outsourced funding. to help
100%.
support.
But we know what times we're in for the arts, and I'm just wondering where the decision came from to, you know, when that was such a successful part of what we were seeing come out of them, you know.
Unfortunately, I definitely try to maintain a balanced
Yeah.
budget, and there's a lot of increases on the services, on things that I had to make sure were balanced. So I'm committed to find personal donations
Yeah.
to the mural. It's definitely one of the projects that I'm very passionate about,
Yeah.
and I would love to create a mural walk.
Yeah.
So I do want you to know that I'm absolutely committed to making sure that we continue that project.
Yeah, I mean, it's $5,000 that goes a long way in the aesthetic of the town, and it's a great program. So I just hope that, you know, maybe someday we can get it back on track. It would be great if we could get it back on track.
I'm sure, you know, next year will be different circumstances that I will advocate for it.
Thank you. I'll keep advocating for it as well.
Ben?
I just wanted to say I support the budget, and I'm grateful for the creative and aggressive work you do in support of our businesses in the downtown. I love having a downtown and a healthy downtown. I know there's always ups and downs and changes in the environment, and I think you adapt well to it. And I see you everywhere. I'm all over, whether it's Shore Gamers or the ice cream shop. And I do appreciate your responsiveness to their issues and their needs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only? Have a second?
Second?
All in favor? All right, this is your opportunity, public, speak about anything on the agenda. No? Anyone online, Jim? No? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment on agenda items only? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Maren.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do, Maren.
Can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from 4/9/2026? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from 4/23/2026?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next up, our CFO, Thomas Seaman, is going to be discussing the municipal operating budget, or is here if anyone has any questions, I guess. But can I have a motion to approve Resolution 26-95 and a resolution to amend approved budget in accordance with the provisions of 40A 4-9?
So moved.
All right. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor, if you'd like, I could just
1 second.
explain what that is, that amendment.
Sure.
That amendment is for that grant that Mr. Gant was talking about for the senior citizen pilot program. I wanted to make sure we got that in the budget before, so we didn't have to wait and do it later. So
Appreciate it.
that adds into the budget. So when we adopt the budget, that'll be in there.
Great. Thank you.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Faisy Blackwood?
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Councilmember Euro?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman?
Yes. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on the calendar year 2026 municipal operating budget? Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone want to address the budget for 2026?
Mayor, would you like me to do a quick summary?
Sure.
So the budget is for $31,458,556.85. The amount that we're raising in taxes is $16,463,373.62. We're using $200,000 more this year in surplus to lessen that increase in the budget. A lot of the components of the budget, salaries are about a third of our budget. Other expenses, we had health insurance increase this year over 25%. We have pension costs over $2 million. Debt services over $3.6 million. I'd like to thank the borough manager and the finance ad hoc committee for assisting and reviewing and going over the budget. We came up with a pretty solid budget. There was a little more increase this year for the municipal component, but we met all the state requirements for the limits. And some years, you have to, go a little higher. The average cost of a house in the town is over $650,000, and the total taxes would be about $11,700. The municipal portion's about 25%. The schools, the local school and the regional schools are about 60%. That's pretty much what I have now, and anybody has any questions, it's an open public hearing, and we'd like to adopt the budget and move on.
Did we already, did we take a vote yet on the roll call for opening the public hearing? We did that, right? All right. Did we?
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, okay. Does anyone have any, again, after hearing Tom, anyone have any questions or comments on the budget? Anyone online, Jim?
Somebody in the back.
Oh, there we go. Yes. You know the drill. Come on up, Charles.
Hello, sir. Charles Jan Jigyan, 165 Spring Street. And what I want to make sure that we can all, as residents, yourself too, that this week is Department of Public Utilities. Red Bank has massive projects going on. And are you confident that this budget will cover the increase of the park, the increase of storm management, strain management of this, that?
Yes. We have a very good capital budget, and luckily with capital items, we are passing ordinances tonight, which will use a lot of grant money. We have some funded money that we raise in the budget, and then we have unfunded money that we will go out to debt. One advantage of the debt, it could be spread out between 15 and sometimes 30 years. If it's a road, it could be over 20 years. So we look at the levelizing our debt every year. Some debt's going to be coming off in the next few years. So we are doing big projects. We have the DPU project ready to move forward. We funded some of that. We set up an ordinance last year for some of that. We haven't spent much of that money, and we won't worry about debt until we spend that money. But we will do another ordinance when we get our final figures, and it will be a really great facility once it's completed. So we look at the future of that, the consequence of the debt, and there's a little hit on that, but it's going to improve the level of services in our town.
All right, can I have a motion to close the hearing, the public hearing on the municipal budget?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve Resolution 26-96, the resolution upon adoption for year 2026 municipal budget? Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonachakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood. Yes. Councilmember Forrest. Councilmember Janone.
Yes.
Councilmember Euro.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Next up is a final reading and public hearing for ordinance 2026-10 entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, New Jersey, adopting a redevelopment rehabilitation plan for the property identified on the borough's official tax map as Block 39, Lots 30 and 31. This ordinance was introduced on April 23rd, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public comment on this ordinance only?
Moved.
Can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any comments or questions about ordinance 2026-10? Anyone online, Jim? Have a motion to close the public comment on 2026-10? Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve on final reading and adoption ordinance 2026-10? Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest.
Yes.
Councilmember Janone.
Yes.
Councilmember Euro.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up, we have a final reading and public hearing for ordinance 2026-11 entitled an ordinance amending Chapter 118 Police Department of the borough's revised general ordinances to increase authorized number of Class 1 special law enforcement officers. This ordinance was introduced on April 23rd, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions or comments about this ordinance? Anyone online, Jim? I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-11? I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest.
Yes.
Councilmember Janone.
Yes.
Councilmember Euro.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up is a final reading and public hearing for ordinance 2026-12, amending the salary ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank. This ordinance was introduced on April 23rd, 2026. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only? Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any questions or comments on 2026-12? Anyone online, Jim? I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance only. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve on final read ordinance 2026-12? I have a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest.
Yes.
Councilmember Janone.
Yes.
Councilmember Euro.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up, we have a first reading and introduction for ordinance 2026-13. This is a bond ordinance providing for various roadway improvements in and for the borough of Red Bank in the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey, appropriating $1,060,000, therefore, including grants from the state of New Jersey, Department of Transportation in the amount of $398,638, and authorizing the issuance of $616,062 in bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to approve this ordinance on introduction? Have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood.
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest. Councilmember Janone.
Yes.
Councilmember Euro.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing for this ordinance will be held on May 28th. Next up is a first reading and introduction for ordinance 2026-14, a bond ordinance providing for improvements to municipal parks in and for the borough of Red Bank and the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey, appropriating $450,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $427,500 in bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to approve on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis.
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes, public hearing for this ordinance will be held on May 28th. Next up is a first reading and introduction for ordinance 2026-15, a bond ordinance providing for the lead service line replacement program for the water and sewer utility in and for the borough of Red Bank in the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey, appropriating $2,400,000, therefore including a grant from the fiscal year 2026 Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Funding and Lead Service Line Grant Program in the amount of $1 million, and authorizing the issuance of $1,300,000 in bonds or notes for the borough to finance part of the costs thereof. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2026-15 on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Takis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing for this ordinance will be held on 5/28/26. Next up is a first reading and introduction of ordinance 2026-16, a bond ordinance providing for various 2026 water and sewer utility acquisitions and improvements by and in the borough of Red Bank in the county of Monmouth, state of New Jersey, appropriating $2 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,900,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to approve this ordinance on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Takis? Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing on this ordinance will be held on 5/28/2026. And finally, a first reading and introduction for ordinance 2026-17 entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 490, Planning and Development Regulation relating to Section 55 Historic Districts, Sites, Regulations, and Procedures. Can I have a motion to approve this ordinance on introduction?
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second with a comment.
What's that? Yeah.
On the ordinance itself, there's for block 43, lot 2 and 3, 99 Monmouth Street. The name says Carlton Theater. Is that the correct name or should it be Carlton Theater? It's a typo.
Oh.
So you'll fix it? Okay. All right, we're good.
All right.
Yep.
Did I get the second already? Oh, yeah, Nancy, you did with the
Yes,
comment.
okay.
So roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Takis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Resolutions, anybody need to pull anything out, or can we introduce them and approve them on the consent agenda?
Mayor, I reviewed everything and I'm okay with consent agenda.
Okay. Anyone else? We good? All right. Can I have a motion to approve resolutions 26-97 through 26-105 under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Takis?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
Mayor Portman.
Yes. We have a few appointments. Susan Devine to the Green Team as a member, term to expire on 12/31/2028. Reappointment of Deborah Marks to the Rent Leveling Board. Her term expires 12/31/2027. Michelle Brody to the Shade Tree Committee to fill the unexpired term of Deborah Marks. Term expires 12/31/2026. And Carolyn Robichaud to the Shade Tree Committee as alternate one, whose term expires 12/31/2026. Everyone good?
Yes. Mayor, Susan Devine is here, so I just want to acknowledge her
All right.
for being here.
Welcome
Did you want to
aboard.
say something, Susan, or just say thank you? Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Some events coming up. We have the Graffiti Bash on Saturday, June 20th from 12 to 5. Wasn't that was, we got rained out the first one? Yeah. Right. All right.
Mhm.
the School of Rock Summer of Sounds Festival in the parking lot behind their business, which will be Sunday, July 5th from 12 to 4. Record Ride on Mechanic Street on September 13th. Basie Center Block Party Friday, August 21st, 4 to 7. They're requesting the road closure from 2 to 8, which will be coordinated with traffic safety. The event is open to the public and there will be food trucks. And finally, the Memorial Day, not finally, but Memorial Day ceremony at 51 Monmouth on Monday, May 25th at 11 a.m. And a teen music fest at Riverside Gardens Friday, July 31st, 6:30 to 9. And this event is partnered with Parks and Rec. Good. All right, can I have a motion to open the floor for public questions and comments?
So moved.
Can I have a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, public, the floor is yours. Yes. Yeah, sorry, we were moving the chairs around for the.
I could just stand.
Hold on, Jennifer, you can use the handheld if you want to stand, or you can sit and talk into the.
Okay. So I'm Jennifer Garcia,
Alberto Garcia.
30 Drummond Place. I'm just really here. I'm on the Board of Ed. I'm not speaking on behalf of the Board of Ed, but I'm really speaking on behalf of my daughter. She couldn't be here tonight, but she wrote a letter and she wanted me to read it. So, dear community board and community members, hi, I'm Ava Garcia. I'm currently a student at Rutgers, but I've lived in Red Bank my entire life and have been through the Red Bank Borough school system as well. First, I wanted to apologize for my absence as I did not initially plan to be here today, but I believe my message should be heard no matter who voices it. Before I start, I want to take a moment to send my prayers and love to Terry's family. I'm sure many of us here are aware of the tragedy that occurred in town yesterday, May 13th, 2026. I'm here to advocate for Terry and the children of our community as a whole. In the past few years, I've noticed that more kids and students of our community are being involved in train-related injuries and fatalities more than ever. It hurts seeing Terry's family, peers, and community having to mourn him so soon. What happened yesterday was a complete accident and should not have happened. There's no one to blame, but there are ways to prevent this from happening in the future. Moving forward, I feel like this tragedy is a massive wake-up call to the adults who influence and advocate for the children of our town. Given that Red Bank has the privilege of being so walkable, it comes with having the majority of children walking to school, sports, and various places around town. With that, there have been multiple openings along the tracks where kids have been able to walk on and near the tracks forever. The broken fences and entryways to the tracks should have been and should be the main priorities to fix moving forward for the community. Growing up in Red Bank has taught me that kids will find shortcuts and faster ways everywhere. There should be more physical barriers blocking entrances and more education about the dangers of the trains implemented in the school curriculum. Prioritizing correct education and safety for these children should be the #1 priority because, again, too many schools, families, friends, peers, and teachers have been directly affected by these tragedies. Some solutions I've personally thought of are fixing those broken entryways, adding thorny plants along entry points, more warning signs, having police officers speak at various schools. Many already do about other topics. This one should also be spoken about. Enhancing enforcement patrol along the tracks and potentially installing high fences, barbed wire. The only solution to these problems is to have zero access for anyone to be able to walk on the tracks. It's a massive shame that Terry's family, friends, and community have to mourn Terry so soon. I think Terry should still be here today, and I truly send prayers to the family and everyone affected by this tragedy. But to move forward and avoid these fatalities in the future, we need a structural change, enforcing education and regulations towards train-related casualties. Please take what I say into massive consideration, and I am open to speaking more on the logistics of things. Thank you. Ava Garcia. Thank you.
I want to thank you and I want to thank Ava. I had a conversation with a New Jersey Transit board member yesterday, and I'm impressed with how many of the points we talked about that your daughter hit on the head in that letter. So I don't disagree with anything she said that way.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys. Anyone else? Questions, comments?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
members of the council.
Just grab one of the mics. You can use the handheld if you want,
I'll
or,
use the handheld if I can.
right. Yeah, that
Thank you
one's
so
fine.
much. I appreciate it, Mr. Mayor and members of the council, being able to appear here tonight. I really did not want to appear.
And I just ask you to just state your name for the,
Yeah, Michael Convery. I'm an attorney in Shrewsbury. My offices were in Red Bank previously, at the courts in 1996, on Monmouth Street in 2001, and on East Bergen Place. I moved to Shrewsbury about 4 years ago. So I've been a Red Bank lawyer since 1996. I haven't appeared before the council, but I've appeared before numerous boards in the town. And I was retained by Margaret Hubler, who is a resident on Wallace Street, and she retained me over what I believe is a civil dispute. There's a boundary issue that I've been trying to negotiate with Tom DiCieri of the Drazen firm. I've had a number of meetings at the site. This property is on 36 Wallace Street, 32 Wallace Street. We've been trying aggressively to resolve disputes between the two property owners, which I do believe will result in a civil action. I don't think our negotiations have been that successful to this point. But since my retention in May of last year, we've had a couple of issues beyond the civil issues that I tried to bring to Mr. Gant's attention in January 28th, as a matter of fact, which culminated in calls to Mr. Cannon in March. And I'm here on May 14th with no responses, no position from the municipality or the borough, and things have gotten progressively worse. I did appear before Judge LaRocca on criminal charges. Now, you don't know me, you don't know how I practice, but I'm a resolution person from the outset. And what I tried to do was speak to Mr. Gant to raise issues well beyond what I believe are civil matters to his attention. And when I was not, and Mr. Gant kindly responded to me twice. He asked me after two contacts with him to put in writing my position. So I sat down, and I sell time for a living. I put a letter together to him. I compiled a Dropbox with video with numerous exhibits, and it was forwarded to him, and I never received a response other than him saying that there may be some zoning issues that he wanted to speak to with Miss Ebanks, and he would get back to me. Now, I don't want to go through the timeline of attempts that I've made, but it's about 9 attempts. And Mr. Mayor, I would love the opportunity to speak to you, if I could, regarding these issues. And I will say to you clearly that they're not civil-only issues. There are 2 issues that are of major concern. One of them is the enforcement of the R2 zone. I believe there's a business operating out of the Wallace Street address. I have videos to that effect. I've had discussions with Mr. Cannon and Mr. Gant about it. If the borough's position is no, it's not a business, well, I want the opportunity to show you why I'm telling you that's what's happening. And the second is that there's issues concerning the removal of a parking meter, quite frankly, so a trailer can pull onto the one-way street on Wallace. It's the only reason why the parking meter was removed, and it's hashed out. And I asked if there was a municipal approval to remove a parking space. Because the only reason that it doesn't exist anymore, quite frankly, is because a trailer now has to pull out of the Wallace Street location. And I have full video. I have porta-johns in the back of a residential location. I have a daily trucks coming in, materials, building supplies being stored in the back of 3 garages. And the individual who owns the business lists the business as the post office. The address for the business on all of his advertisements is the Red Bank Post Office. And there's no other location. So what I was trying to do was bring these issues to the attention of the borough manager and to the attorney. And I didn't start with you, Mr. Mayor. Maybe I should have, because I know that you have an open door policy, and I know that you're willing to speak to issues that concern the residents of this borough. And I know you do a good job doing that. But I'm very concerned as to why for 5 months, since January, I don't have a response. And, if there is a response from the borough, I'd like it. I'd like it in writing, because then I'm going to take that response and determine whether or not I have to take any other action. And that's not a threat. My position for 30 years practice in law is resolution. It's always been. That's why I'm here tonight. Because after 8 or 9 attempts to speak to your administration, it's fallen on deaf ears. And I just want the opportunity to speak to the issues on behalf of my client. And by the way, my client is a 4th-generation resident of this town. Her great-grandmother lived in the house that she's living in today. So I just want the opportunity. I'm not here to make waves. I'm not here to make threats. I want to sit down with the members of your administration and speak to the issues and get a qualified borough opinion as to whether we're wrong or we're right. And quite frankly, if the borough tells me that I'm wrong about every position that I have, then I will know that I shouldn't have any more dealings with the borough. And then I'll take action if I have to or not. I just want the borough's position. And I think a resident in the town is entitled to that. So I don't want to waste my time on the specifics of this any more than I have. I would like the opportunity, Mr. Mayor, to sit with you, to sit with Mr. Cannon, or to sit with Mr. Grant, or collectively everybody, and raise these issues, or any member of the council, so that my client, who's paying me to get a result, doesn't have to sit for another 4 months and me not be able to act. And I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for being here, and I will speak with both these gentlemen. And
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
So, Mr. Convery, I just want to be clear. You want the borough to bring summonses against the neighbor for zoning violations, correct? That's really the crux of your argument, right?
My letter that was sent to both you and Mr. Gantz specifically
Okay.
talks about a number of issues.
Right.
The first issue is a permit was issued rightfully by the borough zoning officer, but she had no idea what was being constructed. The permit application says 6-foot fence. It doesn't talk about 4-foot footings. If I showed you the fence, and I know you've seen the pictures.
I've
Mr.
gone out
Gant,
to the property and inspected it since we
Okay.
spoke in the last 2 months. I've also chased down the parking spot, which was removed with the municipal approval and a parking utility work order.
And you couldn't explain this to me in writing, or you couldn't call me and tell me? You have those answers tonight
Yeah.
because I'm appearing here, but you didn't have them on May 4th? I wrote you a letter on May 4th and
I
asked you
actually
if you
just
wanted-
got the answer. Well, listen, if you want to come run my law firm, you're more than welcome to do that. That being said, I just got the answer about the parking space two days ago, and the traffic sergeant is still on vacation, not returning until Monday.
Okay,
So
the
respectfully, we spoke 6 weeks ago. I'm the borough attorney for this town. There's a lot going on other than your private fence dispute, right?
Mr.
So
Gant, I
with all
understand
due
that.
respect, to come here and tell me that I'm not responding to your civil matter quickly enough is, we're just going to leave it there.
Mr. Cannon, you can take that position if you so choose.
Okay.
I wrote you a letter 10 days ago. I
Yeah.
said to you, will you contact me to discuss this?
Yes.
Because I'd like to speak to you, and if I don't hear from you, like I didn't for 3 months,
Okay.
if I don't hear from you, I'm going to show up at the council meeting.
Here you
on May
are.
14th.
Yeah, here you are.
Right, so now you're giving me the answers that I've been asking for. Do
Okay.
you want to put your answers in writing to me?
Sure, I'll put my answers in
Okay,
writing
so
to you.
the parking spot was
We've had the zoning officer go out and inspect the property. There's nothing outside in the backyard. So you said it's in the garage. That means we would have to we're the government, right? We're not in a civil litigation. You're a lawyer, it's the Fourth Amendment. We can't just walk into the guy's house to determine if he's operating a business. I've taken the fence to the zoning officer. She's shown me I've reviewed the entire permit file. I'm not sure what's wrong with the fence legally from the borough's perspective and how it's a zoning violation.
So it's not defined as a structure. This is a fence within your ordinance.
There's one on the other side of the yard that apparently he gets along with that neighbor because he left them enough space to get out on their side. But on your side, he's building it up to the sidewalk. I see how unfair that is to your client, but it's not the borough's property. It's not the borough's fence. I don't know what to tell you. You said yourself at the beginning, it's an argument over a fence on private property fundamentally.
No, well, that's the civil dispute. So you're saying that the town.
And you're really asking the town to put the thumb on the scale of your civil matter in your favor. And so I want to be very circumspect before understanding the situation before I did that. And I was taking my time doing that. It's obviously not fast enough for you. So if you'd like to come in and we'll have a full meeting, and come down here during the week and we can do that.
I would like that opportunity.
I think I have no problem doing that. We've faced down the answers and our traffic sergeant will be back on Monday, as I understand it, from vacation. And we can all sit down and talk about everything that's going on.
All right, so
But
Mr. Cannon, is it your position?
we weren't
these-
about to just walk out and write tickets when we know what's going on
I
with this
understand.
entire private dispute, right? That's just putting our thumb on the scale for you.
So
Because
can
the
I,
other side hasn't had a lawyer call me yet.
right. Can I ask you, sir, the letter that I forwarded to you that was about 6 or 8 weeks ago when we
I
spoke?
believe it was in March, yes.
Right, so you've reviewed the content of that letter, and from a legal position, there is nothing that the borough is responsible to address that's not related to the civil matter. Is that your legal position?
Well, I haven't had a chance to discuss it with the traffic sergeant yet, and I haven't finished. I don't want to take a position right here, right now, on the record, but we'll be happy to come meet and talk about all of it. Like I said, I'm in the middle of reviewing this. I've been out to the property 3 times to see what's going on. I see tire tracks with dirt, but I don't see any trucks or materials in the backyard.
You review the videos that I forwarded to you?
The videos, will be honest with you, I have not reviewed the video.
Okay, because that shows the activity on a regular daily basis.
I understand.
And it shows the porta-johns. that
You
are-
also have to understand that I'm not the zoning officer either, or the code enforcement official, and I don't tell them what to do. They have their own discretion. So I haven't had a chance to go back down the chain yet either. I went and grabbed the permit file. I got the parking utility permit order because the Google Streets View has 2 spots still on the meters. That doesn't make a lot of sense with stripes. Turns out there's a work order in the utility that changed the meter after that picture that I saw. And so I have been looking into this. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to complete my review in 6 weeks to your satisfaction.
I know
But we can get back together and figure it out. I
Mr.
understand you've
Cannon.
been doing this far longer than 6 weeks.
Mr. Cannon,
You know.
you could paint me as the person that is acting too quickly and not recognizing your schedule. That's not the case.
Okay.
It's not the case, because I've been trying to get a response since January.
That's
So
fair.
if you want to try to say that I don't understand the nature of your practice or how long it takes you to get back to people, you could have called me on May 4th when I sent you the letter and said, hey,
Okay.
Mike, I got some answers coming.
I'll
for
tell you what, we'll get together and
We
we'll
will,
figure
we
it.
will do that. All right. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask you if I can coordinate this meeting through your office, if that would be okay. Because I've tried to go through Mr. Gant's office and it hasn't been successful. Okay. Okay. I'll email you tomorrow and we can get some dates on the schedule, okay?
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes.
Cindy Burnham Struble, the new name. I'm a married woman now. Yep, guy from high school. Thank you, thank you. I just wanted to make something clear here. I am the power of attorney for Margaret Hebler for this house. The house is not mine. I am not getting paid. I am just protecting her. And once I came in, her brothers used to work in Kisslin's. They were the 2 tall boys that, well, I don't know if any of you people know, but he remembers. And now she's left alone and she can't afford the taxes. So I was helping her and I'm still helping her. And I was helping Phil Cardoffy, who was the mason, going through the historic commission and this and that. And then I told him we were putting up a wooden fence. He was fine with it. And the next day he's got a backhoe in the backyard digging a 3-foot, 4-foot deep trench all the way down what he thinks is the property line. Now, this is an old lady. She's 88. We got to get her in a car. Her aides won't park in the driveway because the fence is like right here. They're afraid of it's going to hit the car. We can't get anybody in. We can't get anybody out. People pay to park in front of her house. People pay to park in back of her house on the other side of her driveway. So if those places are taken, the aides can't come. Lunch break can't bring her meals on wheels. And it's a real problem. And he is running a business, and I have taped it because that's what Shauna said. Tape it. The only way we'll know that they're really having a business is if you tape it. And he is running a business. He used to be in Fairhaven by the recycling center. Now he's come up here. And yes, he hates me because I turned him in. I stopped him from digging. So, I'm the bad guy, but I call him a bad guy because this woman is on a very fixed income and now she has to pay a lawyer because of this guy. It's insane. And the reason why nobody from the other side has said anything is because he's an absentee landlord and they're all renters and they don't care. They don't care. I'm just telling you.
Went out there, and it is, like you can see on one side with the neighbor, the fence doesn't go up to the front of the house so they can get out of their cars. And on the side that you're talking about, it looks like it's not going to be that way. So I tell you, I don't think that that's fair. I agree with you. Sitting here right now, I'm not sure there's a legal way for the borough to help you
Well-
out, but we're going to meet with Mr. Convery and see if we can figure it.
There is an ordinance and he is not permitted to run his business in that zone. But he went ahead, you guys went ahead and let him do it. And why do you think what's I thought was very funny was Terrence was out, DEP, looking at the square, I guess you had said something. And why is this? Well, who did this? All I can tell you is that Phil Cardoffy told me he couldn't get his truck out, and so that's why the lines got painted. And then Bill Wilk told me, I don't forget what Bill Wilk told me. I think he said he didn't, I don't know what happened, but it's insane. His trucks every morning, in and out, in and out. And it takes about 3 turns to get out of the driveway. So it's a problem. I mean, you're dealing with quality of life issues for an 88-year-old woman whose great-grandmother lived in that house. Her grandmother lived in that house and used the driveway. We've got pictures of the driveway. My God, I own a foot of my neighbor's driveway. I didn't take that or he wouldn't have a driveway. I share a driveway with another person. This is how it is in Red Bank for the most part. This is a pre-existing non-conforming use, and I'm just totally disgusted. But so I hope you can work something out, because if you can't get the fence, then he's got to go, because he's a business and a business should have a 10-foot side setback. And if you put a structure, which is really what he's putting up, which is higher than 6 feet because he put a curb in, then that should have 10 feet. So, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy, and congratulations again on your nuptials. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anyone online, Jim? No? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Christina, you got anything?
Yeah, just a couple of things this evening. Thanks to the council for moving forward or introducing the change to the historic sites to include the state and national level federal sites that we kind of know and love throughout town. They're obviously have been fully vetted. These are well-known sites and important to the town and of interest to protect. Separately, I have been hearing a lot of conversation around town because it's budget season, school season. We've been talking a lot about taxes. And I think that's a healthy discussion to have always. I'm appreciative that we are having that and that people are having those conversations with us. But I wanted to take a moment to speak to some of the facts, especially around pilots that are in town, because in the conversations I've had and seen elsewhere, it seems like there's a lot of confusion about what is active using that tool in town. And I just want those conversations to come from a place of facts instead of, even when it's well-intentioned, assumptions about how that tool has been used in the past in our town. So I actually got a summary of all of the active pilots in Red Bank right now. There are 9. That is started between 1978 and the most recent new pilot was in 2018, except for the renewal of a vote that we had a few months ago here of Locust Landing, which was in 2025. But those are the beginning years of the pilots that we have in town. And if you look at the list, this is public record. It will be part of our user-friendly budget. You can review. These are online. They're kind of common themes that you'll notice throughout all of these pilots. Nonprofits, including some of our biggest, well-known, beloved arts institutions,
have pilots in this town: senior housing and affordable housing. Or some combination of both. We have several that are multiple: nonprofit affordable housing, nonprofit senior affordable housing. That is what makes up the pilots that are active in this town. I just want to clarify that because it seems like people think that many newer developments within the last several years have pilots, have long-term tax abatements, and that's simply not the case. So I want us to go into those discussions, certainly to keep having them. Unfortunately, some of it might be coming from, where we are in the world and the economy today. It feels like we're moving into a sense of scarcity. So that's unfortunate. But I think conversations about fairness should always be had. But I just wanted to mention this so that we can move forward in those conversations with the facts on the table. So thank you for indulging me.
And Christina, there's not a single pilot that does not fit one of those categories that you just mentioned.
That is absolutely correct.
Every single pilot in the town is either a nonprofit, affordable housing, senior housing, or one of those services,
Yeah,
correct?
or multiple. That
Thank
is
you.
absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Ben?
Thank you, Mayor. It's looking like it's going to be a beautiful weather weekend. So really excited for the Broadwalk kickoff party tomorrow. Starts at 4 o'clock. I'm sure everyone's seen everything getting set up. It's taken a ton of collaboration this year. Huge thanks to River Center, the businesses involved. Huge thanks to Public Works guys putting a ton of effort into getting everything squared away. And I think it's really going to be a game changer for the summer. Kickoff party Friday, dog walk on Broadwalk Saturday at 11, I believe that starts, right, Laura? 12. Yeah, exactly. Setup's at 11. But I think there's 2 different bands on Saturday for that, so that'll be fun. I know Robinson and Street are both doing different deals, so hopefully you get a lot of dogs downtown. And then Sunday, I know we mentioned the one scheduled for September, but Record Riots on Sunday in Mechanic Street. I'm so really excited about that as well. And then just jumping off of Christina's great point about housing, I wanted to highlight Governor Sherrill recently, a couple weeks ago, made an executive order creating a housing governing council, directed state agencies to deliver affordability reports in 60 days with full statewide reports due by and plan to put into place by September. It prioritizes a lot of what we look to prioritize in our own borough, vacant state-owned land, including NJ Transit properties, to further accelerate, housing being built around the transit hubs. It's just imperative for smart growth for a town like us, and I'd love to see the challenge being accepted at a state level. Just to back that up with some data, New Jersey home prices climbed nearly 6% in February compared to last year. It's the largest gain of any state in the nation. The national average over that same period was just 0.5%. I also saw earlier today, since 2020, New Jersey added 260,000 new residents and only about 66,000 new housing units. So you want to talk about supply and demand, it's right there in numbers. It's very important we don't continue to kick the can down the road. So appreciate this governing body's emphasis on it in all different levels, and then appreciate again it being taken on at the state level. So hopefully exciting times ahead, more affordable times ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Nancy?
The Environmental Commission is getting ready to launch what they call a Green Challenge, which is for Plastic-Free July, and it would probably involve a pledge that residents can take that they will take some action within the month of July to reduce some use of their plastic. It's very hard to get away from plastic because plastic is everywhere. On the National Audubon Society's Wildlife Habitat umbrella, the garden on West Side Avenue is in the process of getting new plantings starting next week. And they're hoping to to have the mayor come out and take a look at the garden. I just got the text. Sorry, Mayor. But it's going to be a garden of native and pollinators, and the goal is to encourage residents to plant native plants when they're getting new plantings. I'm very pleased that we have a master gardener in training that's joined our green team as well, which I think is great. On the shade tree side, they are, one of our longtime members is getting ready to retire. And we're in the process of looking for someone who could be a member to fill that person's shoes. So, we'll be looking around, talking to people, who are our tree experts around to see what we can do there. The other thing is, today I was recording a session for the New Jersey American Planning Association conference, and the title was Designing Local Streets for All Users, Not Just Cars. And one of the things that came up is, what are we doing as a municipal body to help enable that? So we, as a town, did this by passing the Completing Green Streets Ordinance, having a committee that is looking at design, making sure our planning and zoning boards are aware of the importance of completing green streets. And so, like, if you look at the newer plans that are going before planning and zoning, you see there's going to be more pushback with respect to setbacks and making sure the sidewalks are copacetic, trees, and designing streets for people wherever we can. The goal is to make it visually appealing so that a person, whether you're 8 or 80, the goal is to make it street safe enough for that, which of course would be very, it's one of the challenges that we're facing, but I'm fortunate that the professionals that we do have on our team, the engineering, the zoning officers, et cetera, and the planning departments are very well aware of what our town's intentions are. And it does come with some challenges because we are limited by the width of our streets, but we are in the process of doing what we can. Each road that is under our road program is looked at from that perspective. So I thought that was very important. So that was today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Sustainable Jersey Summit over at Bellworks. And I'll be discussing, what else? Streets. And basically how we're using tactical urbanism to try out things. We're collecting the data to make sure what we have will work for the residents of our town. So, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Nancy. Ben?
Not a good week. I live on Locust Avenue, as you know, and we heard about we're in not a good week. I live on Locust Avenue, and the tragedy really, kind of you get hit on the face really with it. When you come home from office hours, we had our routine office hours on Wednesday, and you see sobbing students on the streets. So, it's not been a good week. So I guess the victim was a neighbor of mine. I didn't know him personally. I think I recognized him. Certainly seemed to be well loved in the neighborhood. There was a gathering at Bellhaven Park, an impromptu gathering. In tying into my council duties, I made sure to go to the RBR board meeting last night. There was a student there. I'm glad I went. Not a lot to say about it, but it was terrible. You could feel it there. So, the train is a great thing to have in town, but it's also so dangerous. And we've had terrible tragedies in Red Bank before, too, some involving children. And of course, I appreciate the letter that Jennifer read today, from her daughter. And we probably should take a look and see what more we can do. As I walked here tonight, I actually saw about 30 kids gathered off of Chestnut you know, they have, I guess, an ad hoc memorial there too, adjacent to where the incident happened on the train tracks. So I stopped there on the way here, Mr. Mayor. So the other thing seems so minor, you know, when you have that happen. I do appreciate the commentary on housing. You know, we have a pilot on Locust Avenue. We have one at the end of our street. I've knocked on those doors since well before I was a council member and I was on the Board of Ed, and a lot of our children and a lot of our families in town have grown up there. And I'm glad that we voted to renew and have another pilot there. Of course, that whole thing happened because Middletown did not want housing. They did not want affordable housing. So I was actually a resident then. They said, well, you can have it, Red Bank. I remember being here as a resident, and basically the council said, we'll take it. Because in those days, a town could just sell off its housing obligation. So we got it. You know, I'm glad we did. Yay, yay for us. Yay for us. And they're very nice people who live there. And I'm very proud that we voted to keep it, because a lot of those folks would probably not be able to find housing. You know, whether, you know, there's some people in there who have to live through breathing apparatus and have health issues or are struggling financially, you know, and there's nowhere for them to go. And what did the state allocate, $30 million for affordable housing this year? Something ridiculous. You know, it's like nothing for this whole state. So I have a couple of announcements from my role as a Parks and Rec liaison. Although Dr. Giannoni would probably do a better job talking about it than I am, because you were there tonight. Chair yoga Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. at our amazing senior center. Tai Chi and Qigong classes also on Mondays, starting 1:22 at 5 p.m. Free rugby clinic starting May 30th. Go to our website or call the Department of Recreation. Scott, I guess you and I can do the rugby thing. Second annual garden tours. We do that. June 7th is the date, 1 p.m. Pre-register your gardens for the tour and participate on our website. And the Summer Basketball League is open for registration. You covered everything else, Mayor, in your remarks. And thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Ben. Laura?
I'll start with Mayor's Wellness. Billy and I were able to attend the Quality Institute of New Jersey's health reception on Tuesday night. We went, right? And they were celebrating 20 years of the Mayor's Wellness. They had great speakers from the Board of Health and Academy of Medicine were there. So it was really well attended and some great networking going on. Yesterday, the Mayor's Wellness held a talk at the Senior Center. Patty White, a nurse midwife, did a great talk on seniors aging well. And afterwards, I worked with the Parker Clinic and we did blood pressure checks there. So that went well. We also, on last Saturday, the Animal Welfare Committee gave 101 rabies vaccines at the first aid station. We had Little Silver Animal Hospital, their vet come and give them. So far this year, this will be our third free vaccination, rabies vaccination. So we've done over 300 pets too. So that was good. And they'll be participating on Dog Walk on Broadwalk on Saturday too. There'll be adoptions for cats and dogs there. Louis Legacy will be there, and lots of activities surrounding dogs. So that's animal welfare. And the library is very excited. They're finally getting their bathroom fixed on the ground floor.
Yay!
So they will be closed from May 18th to the 22nd because they have to turn off all the water and utilities. DPU will be working with them and putting in a new pump. So that'll be closed from May 18th to 22nd. Hopefully that'll just be enough time to get the bathrooms on the ground floor working. And I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Kate?
Thank you, Mayor. As was touched on multiple times tonight, our community is mourning, and we are suffering from a tragic loss. I don't think there's a kid in this town that did not know Terry. I think he knew every single kid of every single age. I think everybody knows my son bikes by himself 3 to 4 hours a day in town. Yesterday was the first time I experienced as a mom my son taking himself to a memorial in a park, and texting me after the fact and saying, meet me down here. And then I came upon this park, and it's the park on our street. And, it was so surreal to see it so packed with kids, so many of our kids. And there's this one kid that I've known since he was so small, and I shared this online because I think it's so important when we lose somebody to humanize them and talk about them as a person and not just how we lost them. And this kid who I've known since he was really little, he's in 4th grade now. He was so bummed. And I was like, you doing okay? And he was like, he was my friend. And I was really thrown off by it, because, the young person who died was 16. And I'm standing there looking at a little 4th grader. And I kind of hesitated before I answered him. And I said, well, what made him a really great friend? And he said, he always stood up for me and he never let me get bullied. And I thought, what a wonderful testimony to a life lived in service, because you don't act that way if you're not a really good person. I think that's a wonderful reflection of a wonderful kid. And you just saw kids on e-bikes and bicycles all riding around town with flowers out of their backpacks yesterday. And today it's been just remarkable and tragic. So I can't believe how many corners of my life. I mean, I just can't believe how many people could know one fantastic kid. So yeah, of course, this is a council of action, and we will be having conversations of every action that can physically be taken to always improve safety in the town. I always end every single night with telling my son that my job is to keep him healthy and safe, and I feel that way about this entire borough. Red Bank AYF, who this child played for, is collecting and raising donations to help the family. You can donate through their business Venmo. It's really important when you search the name of this that you click business. You won't find them under people. So if you open your Venmo app and you type in Red Bank Bucks, AYF is the Red Bank Bucks, so it's Red Bank BUCS, and then it's their business account. You'll see it's the Red Bank AYF, and you'll see that there's already countless donations to help Terry and their family. I just had that sent to me before, and they're collecting to help the family. We had the Day of Hope Walk this week, which is always such a bright spot for our community. Beautifully organized by GBJ Soul Kitchen and Dorothea. It's remarkable to just see a sea of people that are all nonprofit workers and volunteers and helpers in the community all together. So always grateful for that event. It is truly very hopeful to see that many people who live their life in service all together. As was mentioned before, the Graffiti Jam has a new date, which is Saturday, June 20th, noon to 5 p.m. And that's really going to be such a cool event with just live artists painting on these really massive walls. So such an interactive, really cool event. Looking forward to it. This has been a really exciting week of setting up Broadwalk. The energy just feels really different this year. It's been so fun already standing out there, and the amount of community members that we run into standing out there already just reminds me again why I love it so much every year, because you just run into everyone. And I just see everybody so much more, and it's just such like a natural hub. So I'm already grateful for it again, and it's only been a few days and it hasn't even officially started. But I've just been seeing everybody so much more, and it's been so great. I spoke on a panel this morning for how YMCA's and municipal leaders can partner to meet local needs. And it was just really interesting to hear the conversation that we are not alone in Red Bank with rising health insurance costs and trying to be inventive and finding partnerships. But I also left the conversation extremely proud of our town and what we've done to improve management and communications and everything that we're doing here, and the conversations that I had with a lot of people there were great. And there was a lot to share about Red Bank and a lot of things that people want to learn about us from across the state. So that was really fun. And I think that's all I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. I have just two things I'd like to share. The first is I got a text from a young woman named Kai, who I believe is the assistant director at the Boys and Girls Club, and they're a friend of my son's, letting me know that Boys and Girls Club have a group called Torch Club, and it's a youth-led community service team. They're doing a fundraiser at the Boys and Girls Club at 130, hold on, I gotta make it bigger, I can't see it. There we go, 138 Doctors James Parker Boulevard. It's from May 18th to the 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. You can stop by all week. And very proud of Kai and the work they're doing over at the Boys and Girls Club. And then the second thing is I was supposed to go to a ribbon cutting that got canceled a long time ago for the Build and Brew Cafe. It used to be where the Hobby Masters is. So today I took my my dog over to Fins and Feathers to get groomed, and I had a little time to kill. I said, well, we've been playing phone tag, let me stop in there. So I went by this place. This place is amazing, amazing. So the initial half of the purpose, the mission statement is to be providing a clubhouse basically for neurodivergent kids. They do a lot of classes there. I mean, you walk in and there's board games and there's a ping pong table and a pool table and an air hockey table. They're really looking to reach out to the wider community. They like to have neurotypical and neurodivergent people interacting there. They're setting up a massive slot car track on the second floor with scale models throughout the place. They have a digital printer. Kids can go there and print their own stock car. They have a slot car. They have one of those robots that you see. I don't even know where they got this robot from. But they've really put a lot of money in this place. They're looking to do birthday parties. They're going to be opening the cafe soon. So I strongly encourage you, if you get a chance, to check this place out. It was really, really astounding. And it's a real family business. I met the guy, Ross, who runs it. His parents were there. His sister was there working. So it was really nice to stop by there. That's all I got. Mr. Gant?
Thank you very much. Just wanted to update on a couple things. It was great that the Wellness Committee continues to do their great work for the employees of the borough. They held a CPR training class just yesterday, hosted by Hackensack Meridian, free of charge to our employees here. So tremendous job there, and I was glad to see that a number of our employees took advantage of that. This past week, we also met with the Completing Green Streets kickoff call through the set-aside grant through the state for Riverside Ave, Completing Green Streets, for the $1.5 million that we received there. Again, that is a grant that's a TAP grant, so those grant processes take a long time, even as we're experiencing with Shrewsbury Ave. But we will continue to work with them. We discussed about the set-aside money for the engineering services through that grant. So myself, Nancy and Christina took part in that call along with Shauna to plan for that project as well. And there's going to be a number of different community engagement activations with that. So we're at the very beginning of that stage, but we were happy to report that we got the grant for $1.5 million, one of the largest awards in the state, if not the largest award in the state. And we're going to work with the state and everybody else involved for that corridor. Please.
Jim, may I say something
Please.
about that grant? Essentially, what this grant is, the state has a complete and green streets policy, and we said to the state, hey, you have this policy and you have this road because it's Riverside Avenue, which is a state road, and we said we'd like to apply that grant to your road, and we received the full amount that we requested.
Just a couple of reminders too, with moving on to the FIFA watch parties that we have coming up. There's going to be announcements coming out on that very soon. Again, we're proud that we received the $50,000 grant through the state for this. We're going to be activating in a number of different ways around the World Cup. It's going to be great for this community. We're going to create a number of different activations. We're planning for 2 large ones at Count Basie Park. And right now we're in the operational stage of that too. And I anticipate once we secure a couple of things in place to make sure that we can make those announcement coming out on that very soon with the dates and times and what will be around those events. The second thing is on July 2nd, we are partnering with River Center to celebrate America's 250 celebration. So we're going to be working with River Center and the businesses down on Broadwalk on July 2nd for different family activities and other activations down there. So we'll be making those announcements too. But again, something we're working with in Borough Hall. 7 new trees, 7 new London plane trees were installed on Broad Street to just enhance the shade tree canopy there. They went into empty existing tree pits there. We're going to look at those tree pits as we progress throughout the season to see how we can make them bigger, just create the sustainability of those trees. We picked a species that, will thrive there. That matches what the landscape already has there. And we're going to be looking to make those improvements in many of the areas around town too with new trees. We even planted one here on Monmouth Street with our Take Your Child to Work Day event as well. So that's 8 new trees just in the last month in the borough and on the streetscape. So it's definitely an
And by the
improvement.
way, I've signed up for the program the Shade Tree Committee is running to put a shade tree on your yard.
It's great.
So it's a free tree. Right now, you had to go through the steps, you had to apply, then they approve it. I called for a mark out.
Did we decline it? Did we not
No,
approve?
no, I qualify. They told me I qualify. I have to do a round of personal interviews. No, but then we do the markup so that, all the utility companies come out, and now we're just picking a time to meet with Remedios and
That's great.
pick where the tree's going.
And we've included in our RFP for this last installation by Homedale Nurseries that the tree has to sustain for 18 months. So, we wanted to make sure we had that protection in there as well. Lots going on in Marine Park. I mean, there's a lot I could say about that. There's a ton going on, some finishing touches and things. But you're seeing a tremendous amount of work and culmination coming together. I just saw the band shell structure going up. So there's just a lot going on there. The last thing I want to talk about is the action that was taken tonight by the council to approve the police accreditation grant through the Monmouth Joint Insurance Fund. To me, this is a very important project, and I know it's equally as an important project to the chief, this police accreditation project. The Monmouth Joint Insurance Fund, which I'm a commissioner of, we were able to secure $25,000 for Monmouth municipalities that are a member of the Joint Insurance Fund to seek police accreditation. Police accreditation, to me, is a significant professional benchmark in our police department because it focuses in on best practices, accountability, training, policy development, and just continuous improvement of our police department because of standards that are set that police departments around the state and around the country meet through an accreditation process. Our chief of police is committed to this, and he's behind this project. He will be assigning staff to this project and seeing this project through. We are the first municipality since the grant became active, which was also this afternoon, to then pass the resolution going into an agreement with the Joint Insurance Fund to receive the $25,000. The police accreditation project is about $28,000. 25 of that will be covered by joint insurance fund money. And then we repay that back once we get the deduction through our insurance after receiving the accreditation. And then once that's paid off, then we see the deduction in our insurance because of accreditation thereafter. It's a defensible way to make sure that as a police department, that we are holding ourselves accountable. Having worked for two municipalities that were police accredited, I can say that I've seen the professionalism and the agencies rise to a standard and make sure that that standard becomes part of the culture. And because the foundation has already been set by our chief of police now, I know that the same thing. This agency is going to look at this and find ways that we can constantly improve, because that's what we should be doing on a daily basis, from Borough Hall to the police department to our public works and any other department that falls within our purview. We are constantly finding ways to improve. So Chief, hats off to you for taking on this endeavor. And I'm truly looking forward to, how we can consistently and constantly improve through this process.
Is that it, Jim? Yeah, go ahead,
I
Chief.
just have a couple quick words. I just want to thank the mayor and council for all their support with this. Borough Manager Gant has been tremendous in taking the effort to go to the JIF and to get the money to fund this. It's not an easy task. Accreditation is the gold standard in law enforcement across the state of New Jersey. 54% of the police departments across New Jersey are accredited. I want to become one of those departments. I think it's important for us as we move forward into the future. It focuses on bringing our policies and procedures up to the best practice standards that we should have. Training, wellness of officers. I mean, there's a number of things. Accountability. I'm big on accountability. I call guys out. I think it's important to focus our efforts and bring our department to standards, to higher standards here. I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank you guys for all your support. I want to thank the borough manager for, assisting me and, leading the department in the right way. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Do we have exec session? That's great. Can I have a motion to adjourn? I have a second. All in favor? See you in 2 weeks, folks.
Yeah. That.